Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Python Snippets interview series by Akansha Academy. And if you are following, we are discussing here Python code snippets which are asked in interviews, whether you are preparing for data engineering or you are preparing for automation testing interviews or any other interview where you are being asked Python. So most of the questions which we are discussing here, like you might end up getting them in any one of your interviews. Okay. So if you follow us, like it will become very easy for you to attend the interviews. You'll be prepared and you'll be very confident in front of the interviewer. So let's start with the first question for today. That is, sort a list of tuples by second element. Okay, so here in this video series, what we do, we adopt a way of solving the problem. First of all, we'll understand the question, that is the step one and the most crucial step. Okay, if we understand a question well, okay, then half the battle is won. Now, second step would be to devise a method or like creating a skeleton of implementing the problem, right? So it will be the rough algorithm by which we are solving the problem. And the last step will be like the actual Python coding or the code implementation part. So you will find, if you understand the question well, if you have a way of implementing it, the coding part will be very easy. Okay, and that we will explain with the help of the first question. Okay, what do we have? We need to sort a list of tuples by second element. So here, if you see, we have a list. Okay, it has three elements and every element is being a tuple. So every tuple, we have two elements, 1 and 5, 2 and 2, and then 3 and 8, right? Now what do we need to do? We need to sort with the help of second element. Okay, and if you have done Python coding already, and even if you have not, you should know that there is a method, pre-built method inside Python called sorted. So if you pass a list to sorted, it will sort the list. If it is a list of tuples, it will sort the list based on the first element. If it is a dictionary of list, okay, or a list of dictionaries rather, so it will sort the list on the basis of key in the dictionary. Now there is a twist in this question. We need to sort with the help of second element. Okay, now how do we do that? Okay, then in the sorted method itself, we have a concept called key. Okay, we can pass with the help of which key we need to sort the list, right? So there somehow we need to pass that we are not, okay, we do not want the list to be sorted on the first element of the tuple, but rather the second element. And in the key, we would be doing so by passing the second element. Now we understand the question and we understood the method also. Okay, so now simply what will we do? First of all, let's initialize a list with this example. Now let's print sorted of LST. What are we getting? We are getting a sorted, like this is already sorted on the basis of the first element. Other arguments which we can pass is reverse is equal to true. Right? So if you see, it is sorted on the descending order or the reverse order, right? Now, as we said, we need to somehow pass the second element, right, as a key. So in the key, what would we write? We would write lambda. Whenever we pass something called x or a tuple called x, we should be getting the first element or like the element in the first index. That is the second element. And this is how we are supposed to sort a list by the second element, right? And if we press enter, you will see that the method which we thought has sorted it in ascending order. Like the second elements are, if you see here in the example, 5, 2, and 8. So the actual order should be 2, 5, and 8, which we are getting here. And since it is not mentioned in the question whether we want to sort it with the help, like in which order we need to sort, so what we can do, we can even write it in the descending order. So if we put the reverse equal to true, we will get the value in reverse order, right? Or in the descending order. So what we learned here is how to use sorted effectively in case of list of tuples, or it can be a list of dictionary also. Let's suppose you get a question where we need to sort a list, a list of dictionaries based on the value. So there we can again devise this lambda to pass the key. Whenever there is a dictionary, pass the key value, right? Now let's move to the next question. Binary search implementation, right? So binary search, like if you are from engineering background, you must be aware of this haunting term called binary search, right? So like what do we do? Like let's suppose we want to find an element in a list, and in case of binary search, we must be having a sorted list. So let's suppose we want to search an element in a list. What do we do? Binary search is the fastest, okay? Because like it has the complexity of big O of n. Like in a single uh, loop, it can figure out like how to sort the entire list, right? So what would we do here? We will try to understand how a binary search, like we understood the question, okay? In binary search, let's suppose this is a list 1 to 10, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10. And the target, like we need to search 3, okay? Here you can have any kind of question, and based on that, we need to find out what is the index position of that particular target. So in case of 3, the index position is 2, right? So we need to solve this. Now, a very important thing is to understand the binary search. If we understand the binary search, then finding the element would become very, very easy for you. Okay. Now in this, and then this binary search, what do? We have low, okay, we keep two markers, low and high, and then we have a mid marker. Low is like we keep it 0 always. Whenever we start searching for any element, we keep it 0. And for the high, what do? We keep it length of the list minus 1. Okay, so the length is 10 here, so the high would be 9. And minus 1, just because the Python has indexes always in the minus 1 position. So the first position will be marked by index 0, and similarly the 10th position will be marked by index 9. That's why like we are keeping length of the list minus 1. So we have low as 0, high as 9, and then we would find a pivot called mid, okay, around which everything will be managed, or like we'll devise the entire solution based on this pivot element called mid. This mid is low plus high, okay, and then ceiling divide of 2. That means if it is 0 plus 9 is 9, divided by 2 is 4.5. So we'll take the floor actually, not the ceiling. It is floor divide. So we are taking 4. So fourth position is the element 5. Now we will do a quick comparison whether this particular element is equal to target. Okay. If it is target, then simply return that particular index, that is the mid element. Okay. If not, then we need to see where our target lies, whether the target is less than this mid position, okay, where like in this case it is less than the mid position, or if it is right than the mid position, that is 5, greater than the mid position. If it is less than the mid position, what we will do is we will shift the high. Okay, we will shift the high to mid -1. Okay, and if it is greater than like if the target is greater than the mid element, then we will shift the left. Okay, so if you see, we are, in short, we are trying to close down our window so that somewhere our target falls in the middle position, and this is the strategy, right? So this we will try to explain with the help of one example, okay, which is there in the this website Geeks for Geek. Okay, here let's suppose we have a list, or like it is like initialized with array. So it has 10 elements: 2, 5, 8, 12, 16, 23, 38, 56, 72, and 91. Now the key is the target we need to find, and we will be using the same binary search method. So here low is again 0, high is 9, okay, and mid is 0 plus 9, floor divided by 2, that is 4.5, and floor is 4. Okay, now we have the mid position 16. Now we will compare our target, whether target is greater than this 16 or less than 16. So since it is greater than 16, we will not touch the high marker, we will touch the low marker and move it to mid plus 1 position, that is fifth position, right? In the next slide, you are able to see this. We have moved the low marker to mid plus 1, that is fifth position. Now again we need to find out the mid. So mid will be 5 plus 9, uh, floor divided by 2, right? So 9 plus 5 is 14, divided by 2 is 7. So this is the mid position now, 56. And now we will compare whether 23 lies to the left of mid or right of mid. Since it is on the left, so we need to move the high now. Okay, it is towards the low, so we need to move the high towards the low. So it will be mid -1, that is 6. Okay, and the low remains the same. If you see in this example, the low is 5, the high is 6. Now the mid will be low plus high, floor divided by 2, that is 5. Now we have the mid index as 5, and if we check the element, it is the same, then we need to straight away return the index of 5. Now since we are clear with the method, now we'll start implementing, right? So with the same approach, let's define a function called binary search, and in that, what do we need? We need a list and a target, okay, for which we need to search. Now first of all, we'll define the low and the high markers. The low is always 0, as we discussed in the question, and the high would be length of this list -1. Now we'll loop through till which point? Till the point low is less than or equal to high marker. Okay. Now we'll try to find the mid pivot element, and it would be low plus high and ceiling divide by 2, right? And now we will use the entire same logic which we discussed. okay, to find out the element. If it is matching with the mid, we'll return the index of the mid. Else, like, we'll be moving. If it is to the left of mid, we'll move the high towards the low. If it is towards the right, we'll move the low towards the high. And there is no guarantee that that particular element will be there in the list. So for that condition, what we'll do, we'll be returning -1, right? And now let's try to call this binary search with this example. And let's try to search for 7, right? So we are getting the index of 6, which is correct. And now if we try for 3, let's see if it is giving 2, which is 2. So our binary search is working properly. And this is like, if you say, like, this will be one of the, like, most difficult question which you can get in a Python interview, and with correct understanding and correct approach, we are able to solve it very easily, right? Next, we'll be moving towards the last question of today's video, which is sort words alphabetically, right? So sort, in the sense, like, sorting of a list, we are very clear. So we use the sorted method, right? So let's suppose we have a sentence. Let's initialize this sentence. What is the question saying? It is asking sort the words alphabetically. So we have D, P, and A. So the sorted order should be A, D, and P. Okay, so this is the question. We have understood the question. Now, what do we need? If there is a sentence, we need to create a list out of the sentence, and it should be split by space. Okay, so we need to somehow use the split method. We have the list. Now we will sort with the help of sorted method, and after that we need to rejoin. So for rejoining that, again we'll use join method to join the entire thing, right? So let's define a function. Okay, first of all, we'll clear this console so that things are easier to follow. Sorted sentence. And for that, we need a sentence as argument. And what will we do? Split of S will be S dot split method, right? And then what we'll do, sorted split will be we'll call the sorted method and we'll pass this split of S, right? Now we need to join all the parts together, and it should be separated by space, right? And then what we'll do, will return this particular value, which would be our answer, right? And now let's try to, since we have already initialized S with data pipeline automation, Let's try to see whether our function is working properly or not. This is sorted sentence of S. So as we expected, it is A, D, and P. Again, like if we want to sort it in the decreasing order, then we need to keep reverse equal to true as we did in the first question. So if you are staying this till this point in this video, guys, this was the end of the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and keep following Akansha Academy for more such videos. Thank you.